Hello, everybody. Welcome to SimAirport. I'm Tenacious Viking, your airport manager host for an early access game called SimAirport. Now, this game has a lot of promise, but it is early access and it has a number of bugs. Developers are working furiously, issuing as many as 3 patches a day to help fix the bugs as those of us with early access play it. It's reminiscent to many of games like Prison Architect, and I think it has. I think that's an apt comparison. We're going to start a career mode game with a medium map. A large map still tends to be a little buggy, freezes, and so on. And we're going to pause right away. It always starts with rain, and I'm not sure why. But let's look around the map a little bit. We have a road coming in, and for some reason, this is the default map that I'm using just because I want to show you the basic game play and not get too hung up on how to build an airport from scratch, although we'll do that eventually. Deliveries arrive here. This is all the parts and pieces for things that you order that you want to build, including buildings itself, things inside the terminal and so on. There's a pickup area here where passengers who have arrived on a plane go to be picked up by a bus. There's a huge drop-off area here. Why that's so huge compared to the pickup area, I have no idea. And a garbage area where the janitor will wait with garbage bags for the garbage truck to arrive and pick up the garbage. There are a number of zones. You can move around with WASD, by the way. There's a ticketing area, a baggage claim area, security area, restroom areas, several other areas that we will see as we go. Once you designate those areas, it will tell you what you need in there to make those areas functional. For example, in the restrooms, you have to have sinks and toilets, otherwise it's not a restroom, right? Makes sense. We start with one gate and one runway, daytime only runway. We have a gate here to allow traffic into the airport. A passenger bus is coming, potentially to drop people off, but there's no reason to do that right now, so they won't. So we're going to stay paused for a little bit, and I've started this about 6 times, so I'm gonna do the same thing I did the other 6 times because it seemed to work. In the build menu, you have to build a foundation before you can add anything else. Now, this is one of the most mysterious aspects of the game. If I start here and draw out an area, it will tear down these 2 walls. If I start here and draw out a building area, it will make a duplicate wall there. That seems the opposite of what I'd like to have. But I do this early because I know it's going to violate the security area, and I need time to fix that before I bring any planes in. I'm also going to put a build on an area here, and you'll see why I build these 2 areas as we go. So that's where I'm going to start, and I'll start the game moving. I want to quick get. I always forget to do this first. I want to put a couple of shelf units here and a couple here for some of this material, because otherwise it fills up this entire delivery area. We start out with 3 builders, and I'm going to add another workman. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to add 2 more because I got a lot of building I'm going to be doing. I will fire these later on. Yeah, I know, I'm a jerk that way. I also want to put in right away when motion starts a couple of dumpsters. I think it makes stuff look a little neater to have a dumpster. You use the R to turn these things, and he's standing right there, of course. I'm going to put it there anyway. I want to put that there too. I've never done that before, but I want to see what happens. They'll probably get stuck there. It's probably what'll happen. Okay, we have a couple of ticketing desks. We do not have a queue for those, so I'm going to put in a queue. That's a little interesting as well. You start 1 space away and draw it however you want. I haven't made very complicated queues, and I don't care. Once they're built, you have to assign them to those specific desks, so we'll do that. You see the workers building the parts out here. Maybe this is why they take the wall down, so they can get stuff out here to work with. Some of these guys will go around out through the gate, and go around with their supplies. I don't want to put in too much right away because as soon as these things are opened up, I need to put walls back in place again. Otherwise, the airport cannot function, and I'd like it to function as soon as possible. We'll put a baggage claim there. I put it that way because you can get exactly 3 along here. Some people put it vertically, and I haven't seen a need to do that. I mean, I'll add onto the building if I need more baggage claim space. I've never gotten that far with a game because there's been an update, and then you need to start over anyway. And I suspect that will happen to me here as well. If that happens, I will try to do as much as possible in advance, and get to the same point that I was at. I'm going to build a medium-sized hangar here because you have to have a baggage car in order to use automatic conveyors to get baggage to the plane and back again. So I need to start that building right away as well. Let's see. Here in the... I know one thing we need. I usually just start at the top here. There's a lot of things you can buy. You can buy additional gates. You can buy bag scanners, benches, body scanners. Oh, we will do a body scanner. I don't know if it's necessary, but it seems to like that, and it seems to work pretty well. So we'll do that. But I also need a couple of ATMs. Otherwise, people get upset with you. Rotate it with the R so it's facing the back. I also always put one right about here that seems to work pretty well. It catches people coming in and going out. And you're going out and you're coming in. Now I have 2 ticket desks here, but I've found that it helps. It takes the panic out of adding more ticket desks if you put some ticketing kiosks here. I messed up the last time I put a display here, I think. But you can get 4 of these in here, and I think that helps quite a lot, because I've seen them used pretty heavily when the airport started to get busy. One of the things that people are going to want, to demand, if you will, is food. Later on, we'll open a cafe. That has been pretty buggy. That's supposed to be fixed. I haven't seen proof of that yet, but okay. So let's see, we're going to rotate this drink machine. Now I'll put a little space. I want to put a garbage bin in between here as well, and then a food vending machine, and I have to rotate this several times to figure out which way to put it. There we go. We're also going to need food here, of course, because once you get in the security area, you can't... I think that's the front. Yeah. That's front. You can't get out again to get something to eat. So we need at least something here for everyone as well. Another thing we need are flight info displays, and they always seem to be crabbing about information. So I'm trying to put in a number of flight displays, but I'm not really sure where to put them. I like to have them right about here. People will gather here, and I think people will gather here to look at them also. But these will get in the way of some of the queues. So I'll have a queue there. Shouldn't have any queues there. So I should be able to put... No, I don't want 2 together. Oh well. We'll see how that works. I also need to have one here. And I'll put one here because we're probably going to have another gate here at some point anyway. Okay, how are we coming on the... I'm going to speed them up to 2 times speed. I'm not going to go to 5 times speed, it says this is, because the bugs appear in droves when you do that. Okay, they haven't built this yet. This guy is just standing there, and I don't know why. I may have to fire him and hire someone else. I'm going to need a second janitor pretty quickly, but for utilities, I'm going to wait to build that because I need to... it's quite the thunderstorm. I like to put benches this way. I don't know if I want them facing... I kind of did this the last time, and I think that works. I don't know that we need this much seating, but we've had that much before, and it seemed to be okay. I might put another set of vending machines over here if I think I need to later on. We'll see. Okay, they've got this enclosed now, so I can order the wall to be replaced where I wanted it. Are they going to take that out or not? Maybe not. I'll put this in. This is going to be... Is this a... Oh, it's only a one door. I meant to make it two. I'll have to expand that later on, but for now, I will put a single door in here. Because nobody's going to be using it anyway. Okay, this is enclosed now, but these walls are not taken out, so I can't put those in yet. As soon as this wall comes out, this will no longer be a viable restroom. And you'll see exclamation marks going in. They're much better at putting in some of this new stuff than they are at doing my building over here. I don't quite know why that is, but oh well. So let me know if you like this series. I'm obviously interested in it. I'm not married to it. In other words, I'll do more of it if you want me to. I won't if you don't. That's about all the seats I'm going to put in here. That's probably not going to be enough. I wonder what would happen if I put seats along here. That's kind of a narrow. I don't like to do that. Yeah, I could put a few in here. I don't put a queue in here because I haven't seen the need for that. We'll leave that. Okay, what else do I need? Oh, I know one thing I want to add. As you can see, there are chairs, cafe chairs, cafe tables, cash register, a coffee maker, a cooker for the cafe. We have another gate agent desk, which would be one of these. If you open a new kitchen sink, kitchen storage. I mean, they have everything, including the kitchen sink here. Office chair and office. You'll see what they need for that. Pizza oven, prep cart, refrigerator. All those are necessary for the kitchen when you start a cafe. Another ticketing desk if we need that. When we need that, because we will. Oops. Yeah, see now the failed requires functioning restroom zone, which has to have an enclosed space. So we need to put that back. And let's see, we're going to put this back, but with an opening. I'll put a door in there, and then we'll do a little work on that later on. One thing that I forgot to do, I always do, I got to start research. You have to research finance, and you have to research operations right away before you can get to some of these other things. Bank loans, pricing, you can control pricing eventually. Once you've done road building, then you can get multi-lane access, a 3-lane road coming in, and that would be pretty useful. I haven't gotten that far yet. You can also upgrade buses so that they schedule an extra double-decker bus every 30 minutes, but you have to research those things first. So you should really start that research right away. I keep forgetting because I'm not used to doing dumb things like that. I'm starting to run out of money. And that's a constant problem, of course. Got to do a baggage car. This construction here is costly, but it's gonna be essential later on. I'll rotate this door, put it in here, and we'll get back to that space later. Make good storage for the. They should use this for storage while they're building this other stuff. Okay, we're gonna open the airport. And you do that by clicking on the plane here. You'll see we have 4 airlines that have new flights available that we can schedule. Now, Aerostar has the highest interest. I'm going to start with them. They have an afternoon flight, a morning flight, and another afternoon flight. They have a night flight, but we have to upgrade the runway before we can schedule that. So let's do that, and then we'll get back to the plane scheduling, because that takes a while. You click on the runway, upgrade, and you have several things: a runway ILS, instrument landing system, a runway precision approach path indicator. Some planes require that, and then the runway lights. And you place those, it'll light up green once you have it correct. It deducts $25,000 from your account. And yeah. But you can schedule planes at night. And boy, you need planes coming in pretty regularly. Now, once you get some planes scheduled, you can look at their status. We've got a 4 o'clock a.m. arrival, a noon arrival, and a 2:15 arrival. I'm going to change that time. En route, 2 others scheduled. Tomorrow, I assume, same thing. Okay. You can also then check the schedule this way and see. Now, this is the 2:15. I'm going to move this to a 2, because that way I can schedule another one at 4 o'clock. And I have a early morning flight. So I've got some morning room, I've got some afternoon room, and I've got some evening room in my schedule. Pricing, eventually we'll be able to control this. I was able to make some pretty good money in one of the iterations of this. But the last couple of times I haven't been able to make much money, and I'm not sure why. All right, let's see how this goes. We've got a what? We got a 4 a.m. So we should be getting a bus. Yeah, there they are. There's a bunch of people. Now, what I haven't done yet is I have not assigned the ticketing desk to a queue. So I need to do that. And then I need to close that one. We'll do this one as well. Assign that to a queue, to the other queue, and close it. Eventually, I'm going to bring a third one here and make that first class only, just to keep that group of passengers happy. And they're using the queue already. Wow, that's they've improved that considerably. Initially, the queue was almost worthless. Didn't work at all. So I may eventually be adding queues here. But, you know, they come through security pretty slowly. So here they are. Let's see if we can catch one of these guys here and see what he's thinking. Rest, hunger, yeah. I can follow one guy around, I guess. Nah, I don't want to do that. Never mind. But you can tell how all the passengers are doing as a group by just hovering over this. Here we have 81 current passengers. They're 100% satisfied with boredom and frustration. 97% satisfied cleanliness, 85 environment, 82 information, 78 bladder. They have to pee a lot. Hunger, 68. You know, they got the vending machines. Go get something to eat. Crybabies. And then rest, I'm not sure what that means. I assume that means they're tired, but it could, I don't know. It could mean they need a restaurant. Now, there's a little cart carrying baggage back and forth, okay? And I wanted you to see that before I did this, which is to build a conveyor system. So you got a baggage routing station. I know how I want this to face, and I wasn't sure how to get that, but if you keep clicking R, there we go. That's what I wanted. There. Okay. Because when you click on the conveyor, you'll see that this is set up for baggage to go from the desk over to here and then be brought to the plane. The pink is set up to go from out here onto the carousel. So I'm going to route conveyors over here. I like to put it here because when you add a new one, then a new desk, you just got 2 conveyor belt pieces, and you can put that in place. Then I run this down all the way to here. Oops, too far. That's interesting. I wonder why. Huh. Okay, let's. Oh wait, I can I can just click on it, I think, and cancel that, cancel that. Oops, I didn't want to cancel the whole project. Shoot. Okay, let me try to do this right. There, okay. And we just have to go over to here and click on that. Okay, once that's all in place, this conveyor will start to operate. And you'll know it's operating when you see baggage on the carousel without seeing the little cart go back and forth. So that's in progress now. Let's see. No, we still have all of the construction workers busy. So until we start seeing them standing around, I'm going to keep them on the payroll. Here's our cash flow. We have $13,000 in flight ops income, but we have $10,000 in staff expenses. Now we'll lower that when we get rid of those extra construction workers. We're only making $2,000 a day. That's not going to cut it. It's just not. So we still have room on our schedule. Let's see if we can add some other planes to the schedule. Let's see. These guys have the next most. Okay, that's a morning. Oh, and a night. We can do a night now. So let's go down here and do this night one as well. That's two different airlines that we have accommodated, and our schedule is starting to fill up rather nicely. Nobody wants to fly from midnight to 4 for some reason. I can identify with that. Let's see how many overlaps we've got here. Okay, we're going to adjust this one to make room for a 10 o'clock. We still have an afternoon and a couple of morning slots available. I'm going to move that up also to make more room. So let's see how we do with what we have. That's all the time I have for this episode. Man, that was busy and that was fun. Let me know what you think. Is this worth pursuing? There are, like I say, quite a few bugs yet. I'm keeping up with those and with the requests of the people who are playing early access. And I'm sure I'll have to start over at least 1 or 2 times before we get settled into enough into a game that works well enough for me to take to some kind of conclusion, which would just be steady profit, I guess, enough profit. There goes the baggage car picking up baggage. He's going to drop that on over on that conveyor. Now, if we go over here and click on the conveyor line, we can see the luggage. There's the luggage going from the ticket agent to the plane, and yeah, we've got the carousel. They picked up their bags in a hurry. Things are going pretty well now. We get a lot of people backed up here. You can tell how many people are going to be on a plane in several different ways. This is one of them. And, you know, we have minimum stuff in place to handle a large plane load of people. So, you know, we still have some work to do. And we'll be working on that. Let's see, how's our research doing? We got finance completed. We have operations almost completed. I'll show you what that means next time as well. So thanks for watching. Join me next time, tomorrow actually, for the next episode of SimAirport.